Hello and welcome to Me and My Golf. We're your coaches Andy and Pierce, and it's time for the Impact Show. We're back at the Asprey after our trip to California and Florida from the golf show. Excited to get the season started. It's just around the corner, so get your comments, post them down below, and we'd love to be helping you this season. That's for all you Golf WRXers out there too. Right, today, Pierce, we're talking about the trail leg in the backswing. A lot of people have been saying, what do I need to do with my trail leg? Well, this depends on the person, but we're going to show you guys today really how it can help you and how it affects the golf swing in terms of really the swing path. So everybody's different, so there's no one size fits all, but hopefully with what we're going to talk about today, you can sort of maybe integrate something into your golf swing. Now, Pierce, we see this a lot, don't we, in terms of the legs. A lot of people are after this nice stable base, but sometimes they get a little bit confused on what they should be doing. So today we've got the alignment stick. This is just a great tool. It's really helpful when it comes to sort of working at your golf swing. How does the trail foot, or trail leg, sorry, affect the swing path?
Well, it can influence it a lot, and I think the one thing we have to start with is that we have heard so much about in golf instruction over the years that having a flexed right leg and it's not really allowed to move, it's just allowed to rotate, it has to stay flexed. You know, in an ideal world, maybe that would be a good thing to do, but world number one, Dustin Johnson, he extends and straightens his right leg, sorry. So we need to understand, like you said, Andy, it's not one size fits all. It depends on the style that you've got. So I think the thing to notice is that if we do work at keeping this right leg, trail leg, very flexed in the backswing, it can really limit the amount that you rotate. So if we look at my hips here, when I'm doing this, I'm working really hard on keeping that stable. Now, you can tell by my voice, it's hard for me to rotate. Now, when people do achieve this, we often see this as the next move. When they start their downswing, the club tends to travel on this direction here. So as you said, a club path when they're striking the golf ball a little bit too much to the left. So we have to be very mindful. If you're going to work at that, you need to understand, is it helping you? And with a lot of people, it actually doesn't.
So for somebody who's, let's say, maybe a little bit under the plane or inside, that might not be a bad thing to work on. Keeping that right leg flexed could actually help them.
Of course it could, yes. You could limit the rotation a little bit. And we always say, the more that you rotate, the more that your arms can get behind you in your backswing. Now, that could be a good thing if you're looking to shallow your downswing and you don't want to be steep. So bringing that into the thought process now, if we wanted to get this lower body and we wanted to feel as though the right leg just sort of straightens a little bit, not bolt straight, we wouldn't want that, but if the right leg were to straighten just a little bit, you can see how much more rotation I get, and you can tell by my voice it's a lot easier to be here. And because my arms are a little bit more around me, deeper a lot of people would call this, it may be a little bit easier then to get the club down on a shallower path. So basically what we're saying is, if you work really hard at flexing that leg, it could cause the path and the direction of the swing to be a little bit more to the left. If we want to let it sort of rotate a little bit more and straighten out, we can get that path out to the right.
Definitely, and like you said there, we still want to maintain some flex in that leg because we want to use that to push from and drive towards the target. That's really key as well. But all we're saying is, look, if you're somebody who has that path that's too much to the left, then look, allowing that to just straighten a little bit in the backswing is going to help you. And if you're somebody who has that path a little bit too much out to the right, then keeping an element of that flex in that right leg could help you too.
So you can feed what you need. So I'm just going to hit a couple of shots. I'm going to go with one where I keep it really flexed, really stable, and actually I'm going to feel as though I play a little bit of a fade, and I think it'll naturally happen anyway. Yeah, I think so. So here we go. So not a lot of movement, and we can see path, direction, definitely starting down left and cutting. Okay, and then on this one, to be honest, if we had a preference, Andy, we would probably go with the second one, wouldn't we? With the majority of golfers anyway, allowing this to straighten out a little bit, because you'll notice now when I do this, when I allow that to go, I'm going to get a lot more rotation, and it's going to be a lot easier to attack the golf ball from this sort of direction here. So more rotation. There we go. Bit out of toe, but a beautiful little draw on that, and starting right, bending left. So very different result based on how these hips and the right leg works.
Definitely. So I think sometimes when you watch some of the best players in the world, let's say Jason Day, for instance, who's extremely stable and doesn't have much hip turn, well, look, the average golfer shouldn't necessarily be doing what Jason Day's doing, but I think from what we see amongst golfers, generally they lack a little bit of rotation. They lack the ability to turn well. So I think certainly keeping the flex in the leg is great. Understanding how it influences the golf swing is even more important, but actually allowing a little bit of give in this knee is definitely going to help get the club a little bit more from the inside, and certainly amongst golfers that we'd like to see that.
It's interesting you say that. You just mentioned world number one and world number two with very different trail leg positions, and they feed what they need. You know, it suits Jason and it suits Dustin definitely.
Some great things there to work on. Guys, post your questions again for next week. We'll choose a winner, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos every single week. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.